Hey, yo, yo.
Back hero.
Yo, check it. This my special attack, 100 swords, 100 episodes, and here's to 100 more. Who got next? Place your change on the cabinet. Air Combo University graduates juggle my enemies before tagging in the Masters hero. Pros in action, toe tagging champions getting active. The message will always get near you. Return to the dream team, Spider-Man and Strider hear you. When the mask is on, I can't promise Cyclops to keep his glasses on. The handshake was potent. The inner glow shown as a mega optic blast, trailing behind the Shinku Hadouken. How you gonna dodge both of them? Blast you down to the last atom. Best regards from the proton cannon you couldn't fathom. If you were raised on gaming and put a controller up, I'm old enough to study the meta before I bless you. We understood space in the dash clean. Now we need the Justin Wong poster right next to the pro athletes. Final justice like a primary lotus from out the sky. Stars and stripes reminding you racism is still alive. Bring a plasma sword to a gunfight. Hayato, bring a hurricane kick. Tatsumaki Sentakyu. One time for all my otakus who played the console till their eyes closing. Probably forgot to study for their finals. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast. SwordCast. My wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Yo, we're back, episode 151. Shout out to y'all if y'all joined us last week as we finally dove into the John Wick movie. I was the reason we had not, but I finally, got myself together, binged all of the John Wick movies, and then went to see the fourth one. And it became one of my favorite film series of all time.
Slapper. Slappington.
The third and fourth one are two of my favorite movies of all time. Man, last episode was really fun, man. So
it was.
But we're here, episode 151.
Yes, sir.
What are you into currently, my friend?
I'm into.
This is weird being back on the normal schedule because we were struggling for a minute.
Yeah, I prefer I just like consistency, bro. When you get to be an adult, can't
deviate from the
schedules. Hey, you remember all that stuff that you were supposed to be doing? Everything's gone wrong at the same time.
Yep, that.
So yeah,
sounds familiar.
What am I into? I don't know, man. I started to catch back up with some anime. I'm almost caught back up with Tokyo Revengers. Nice little the youth. It's like The Wire for like Japanese high schoolers, kind of just gangs scrapping.
Hilarious.
I've been watching Gundam. I've been rewatching Gundam Wing for the first time in like, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
That's dope.
Shit is sweet, bro. It's very obvious why that's the reason. It's very obvious that that's the one that people our age tended to start with or tended to be the most connected to.
It's definitely, I think you said this last week, it is 100% the most like shonen
for sure
version of the Gundam shows.
Yeah. Also, I just saw this. This is not really I'm actually gonna play this real quick. Did you see the Blue? I know you're not a huge DC fan, but did you see the Blue Beetle trailer by any chance?
I did not.
Bro, it's actually fire, dog. And I'm gonna play it real quick because I have a take for the end of it that I think.
You count as independent, right?
Hey, no money commercials. That I think you'll like.
Mr. Reyes?
Is it easier to put it on this screen?
You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Jaime.
They don't get out much.
I just want to rap.
Jenny?
Bro, this trend of taking a popular like hip hop song and then turning it into like the generic trailer music, I'm starting to get annoyed with that shit.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
Carmen.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
So the Blue Beetle situation is kind of similar to Venom symbiote and
I
know about Blue Beetle.
You do or you don't? Oh, okay.
Jayless likes Blue Beetle a lot.
Re-entry systems ready.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
What is going on?
I just wanna rock.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
Body out of
I think I cut a bus in half.
The also the kid from
but it
Cobra
belongs
Kai.
to me.
That low you feel for your family makes you weak.
I just wanna rock. You gon' kill my dog, stand on my money, no.
So this shot right here,
The universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
interesting take about it.
1, 2, 3, 4, throw up the 5.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just wanna rock.
Yo, so that last shot, bro, I'm getting crazy Super Sentai vibes, bro.
That's what it.
And
I like it.
he kind of already looked like a Beetleborg, sort of.
It
Like,
does.
that's like a super dope aesthetic to lean into for this character. Like, just
Yeah.
make him a fucking Power Ranger,
Right.
bro.
I like it. It looks
That
dope.
shit look dope.
Looks really good. My son's gonna want to see that.
The
Like,
problem is it's not going to count because they've rebooted the whole universe, and this one, like, is just a standalone.
that's
bro.
fine. Well, that's fine. Maybe we'll get a like this is the universe to give us like Static Shock and you know what I'm saying.
If that's the case, then fuck whatever James Gunn is talking about. Like, I want this one.
Same.
So.
Me too. No, that was fire. That was an excellent trailer too.
Yeah.
That was really dope.
Yeah.
But I have just been watching a lot of movies. You guys know I've been back on my Dragon Ball Z watch through. I am on the Android side now, and it is just
Literally.
and it's just hilarious, man. You know, when they go train for 3 years, then they come back. Bulma's just got a baby.
Yeah.
And then Gohan just annihilates Yamcha on accident. He's like, oh, yeah, I bet you're the dad, huh? I bet Yamcha's your dad, huh? And he's just like, no. You won't believe who it is.
Right, that nigga was mad, bro.
Yeah, so it was pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Just I said it last week, the whole way that Vegeta and Bulma's relationship even happened was hilarious. It didn't make any sense because he was such a jerk.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I've been watching a lot of movies, man. There's a movie I've been looking for a long time called Goyoken. It's an old samurai movie. It's got Tetsuya Nakadai in it. He's like one of the old goats from back in the 60s. Amazing movie, bro. It's one of the best old samurai movies I've seen, and I liked it a lot. It's impressive. Like it's like shot beautifully. The like outfits are incredible. It reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima. Like they got it's like in the mountains. It's cold. There's snow. I'm a fan of the big samurai hats, the straw hats, and it's just like the look, the whole aesthetic. I hate the word aesthetic, but the whole aesthetic of the movie is just like off the chain, and it was really good. And then I love old samurai movies, mostly stuff from the 60s. I can't do nothing before the 60s, man. It's just it's like too old for me, because in the 60s,
all the little details, but the tech, the sword tech is there in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? And it's not quite there when we're watching stuff earlier than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but the movie's amazing. I watched this other movie called The Swordsman. It's a Korean movie that I've been trying to find. It came out in 2020, and I was trying to find this movie for like the last, couple years, and I could never find it. And I finally found it, and man, this movie was so dope. It's as I tell you about yesterday, it's literally like Zatoichi and Taken. Like,
that's a crazy combination.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put together. It's this guy. He was like the master swordsman. He was like the top, swordsman and for his like king, and then there's like a rebellion against his king, and he's like protecting the king, and then the king tells him, like he'll go quietly if he'll just, you know what I'm saying, and then he'll be able to live. And in the sword fight, when he's protecting him, some shrapnel from the blades gets in his eyes, and it causes him to lose his eyesight over time, and he ends up taking the king's baby daughter and taking her, running away with her, and he raises her when she grows up, and he's like losing his eyesight. Bunch of stuff happens, blah blah. It's
almost like The Last of Us and Taken kind of as well.
Oh yeah. And then she gets saying like, man, it's and then like the stunts, right? The sword choreography is like, I know a lot of you have seen the Kenshin live action movies, and just the unorthodox, like the style, the way they move, it's so fast, and like that's the style that the sword fighting is in this movie. So it's like,
yeah.
So
I prefer that.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, man. I loved it. It was fire. But something else happened this weekend.
Yes, sir.
WrestleMania! Hey, man. WrestleMania 39, I think.
Yep.
I feel like, it's so funny. Every year, whatever WrestleMania number it is, I feel like it's been that number the last 10 years.
Yeah, right.
But WrestleMania 39, man. You came through last night. We watched night 2 together. I got to say, as critical as I can be of WWE, it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite promotion. Never in my life at any point has it been my favorite promotion. This was an all-time great wrestling pay-per-view. Not just a WrestleMania, but this is one of the greatest wrestling events of all time.
It was very good.
And, just what we talk about, right? For something to be like an all-time great wrestling show, it just needs consistency, right? And all we're asking for is like consistency top to bottom. And you got to have at least one all-timer, like one all-time great match that defines that show that people will look back on and be like, man, that was, you know what I mean? And this was it, right? And
a couple.
And for WWE to deliver on that big giant stage like that, like their storylines, right? That's what WWE kind of prides themselves on. Like they're all about the drama and the storylines they got going. These were some of the greatest storylines of all time, and they were hitting.
That's the part that I wish. I mean, I don't care, but like I haven't been watching, so I wasn't as connected to the storylines,
right?
So it didn't hit quite as hard for me. But where I will say the quality of wrestling, like for WWE standards, was like significantly higher.
Yeah, and I was gonna get to that next. Match quality now match quality wise, and I'm not saying like, oh, that one match was just as a whole. This might have been the greatest WrestleMania ever in terms of just overall match quality. There were multiple 5-star matches on this,
for sure,
in these 2 nights. Just so story wise, right? Like we had the whole Rey Mysterio and Dominic thing. That was fire, and I was getting so mad. Like I'm like, smack him,
right?
Like I wanted his mom to slap him. He's being such a jerk. That was great. Like the storyline there, the match was good. Just all the dramatic stuff, right? That was good. Storylines, right? Then we got the Usos and Sami Zayn, which is like the emotional high point probably of the whole thing, right? Then you had the whole Bloodline story, you got the Roman Reigns stuff, the Cody stuff, blah blah blah. But the storylines were really, really hitting this time around. And then the match quality. Like, this was the highest match quality that I've seen maybe ever at a WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Like, this was probably the highest level at WWE I've seen as a whole, in terms of the whole show, right? I mean, night one, it was just consistent, man, and that's what we're asking for, right? Like, Austin Theory, John Cena was mid, you know, but it was, you know, there's a good beginning of the pay-per-view way to get WrestleMania started off, right? Then you had the tag showcase, and you had Chad Gable hit that ridiculous O'Connor bridging German suplex on Braun Strowman. That was insane. And that match was fun, right? Keeps the energy up. And then you got, like, you know, then you had the tag match with the legends. You had Lita and Trish Stratus, you know what I'm saying? Becky Lynch against, you know, Bayley, Io, who is the GOAT, and Dakota Kai. That was fun, right? Then you had the all-timer. You had Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. 5 stars. Classic. Best women's WrestleMania match of all time. The crazy thing is that last year, I thought that Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch was the best women's WrestleMania match of all time. This was better. This was not just women's match. This is one of the best WrestleMania matches ever. It was so good. I think that was I watched a lot of wrestling over this weekend. I watched WrestleMania both nights. I watched the Bloodsport show, which is I love Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. It's one of my favorite wrestling shows. It's the show where they do the ring with no ropes on it. It's like literally like the Kumite.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kota Ibushi and Mike Bailey had a match. This was Kota Ibushi's return to pro wrestling. He hasn't wrestled in like 2 years.
What's next for him?
I think he's just gonna be freelancing, man. That's his thing, you know. I'm sure he'll pop up in AEW at some point, but like I said, I watched that. I watched Supercard of Honor, the Ring of Honor show. I watched Joey Janela's Spring Break. I watched the kind of halfway New Japan Impact show that they did. I watched everything, and this Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair match was my favorite match of the whole weekend. Like, it was that good. I never seen Charlotte be so locked into her character before. Like, there was moments where she was like talking to herself and like hyping herself up. Like, it was that good, man. Like, this was one of the best WrestleMania matches I've seen ever. That match was fire. The main event, like, it's really dope that Sami Zayn main evented a WrestleMania. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, probably should have been Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, but it's all good, you know. Like, putting tag team wrestling on the forefront.
Yeah, that's rare.
It was it was the big story of the whole thing. Sami Zayn still gets his moment, even though he doesn't, you know, get to wrestle Roman Reigns. Like, the big dramatic real story for him was with him and, you know, Jey Uso. So the match was good. It was good. It was a good main event. Good way to close it out on a high note. The finish was dope, dramatic. But we talked about this last night. Y'all, all the like WWE fans, man, if y'all gonna criticize the Young Bucks, man, y'all got to do the same with the Usos. They do just as many super kicks, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. So, but the match was dope. Then night 2, right? Night 2 started off a little slower. I was talking to my homie Nick. Shout out to Nick. That's my guy. We were talking about wrestling all the time. He was kind of saying, you know, imagine if they had reversed the order of the first match. Like, imagine if the Triple Threat Intercontinental title match was first. Or imagine if Asuka and Bianca Belair was first. You know what I'm saying? They did Brock and Omos. It was fun.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's all.
Super baby face Brock. That was interesting.
It was fun. Black beater Brock. Yeah, you're undefeated against the blacks, Brock.
Right.
You're going to get another one.
This is the biggest nigger
counts
of all.
This one counts as 2.
Triple nigger.
He's look at him. He's the size of 3 of them. And then, like, they had Titus out there on commentary.
What the fuck is
Titus
he doing?
was having fun. Leave him alone. Come on, Vince.
Come on, Vince, baby. You can't do him like that,
Great balls of fire. That was...
Come on, Vince. Come on, baby.
Oh, man. Eric, man, Handsome Bane. Please do more Titus impressions on the next episode of WrestleCast Power Hour. They, you know, it was fun. Then they had the women's tag. That match was a little out of. It just felt like it didn't belong.
Wait,
that was the
one?
only match I didn't really care for. It was the tag team showcase on night 2 with Liv Morgan and Sonya Deville and Raquel and Chelsea Green.
I don't even remember
Ronda
who won that. Who won that match?
Ronda and Shayna Baszler. And I think Shayna Baszler tore her knee up in that match too.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know though. But yeah, we had that. Then it got crazy, man. Like, you know, I talked about how Charlotte and Rhea Ripley was kind of that all-timer for night 1, and you can make an argument for the tag match too. And then, you know, night 2, man, the all-timer, the Intercontinental title match, Walter. I hate that Gunther name, but you know, Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew McIntyre, stiff.
Yeah,
just beat the crap out of each other for like 20 minutes,
blowing each other's chests.
We had a lot of fun watching that match. That match was insane.
Right, I was like screaming out loud.
The finish, the finish was nuts, and he just powerbombed him on top of him. Loved it, man. Is Gunther the greatest Intercontinental champion of all time? In terms of like dominance,
I'll be honest,
he's had some good matches.
I don't really know that much about Gunther, so I'm not the one to ask. I'll keep it a buck. I know you love Gunther. I'm sure he's great, but like his look is like kind of boring to me.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
He looks a lot better now.
He lost a lot of weight.
I'll take Gunther's one of those guys where like there's a lot of wrestling people who I respect who really like him.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I trust y'all know more about wrestling than me. I trust you. I take your word for it.
Yeah, I've been a fan of him for a while. I think my favorite match of his, he had a match with Pete Dunne back in NXT when he was the UK champion. This was probably like in 2018 or 2017, one of those, and that match was off the chain. And then, you know, after that, and then this is where I didn't like the placement of Bianca Belair and Asuka. Amazing match. The finish was incredible. It's another really good match at WrestleMania. Sure. The finish was awesome. Bianca Belair is a ridiculous athlete, but I just think I don't like that they put it after the triple threat match because it took the crowd a while to get into this one. You know what I'm saying? If you were gonna, like, you either gotta, like, I think they either should have did the Hell in a Cell match after the Intercontinental title match, or like I said before, they should have started the show off with the women's match because it's hard to, like, a match that hits like that triple threat match. You either gotta have down, you either gotta go down, or you gotta have like a match with like some exciting, crazy rules going on, like Hell in a Cell. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or you go down, then you do the women's tag match after that. You know. But this match was really good, man. It was amazing. Asuka's the GOAT. Bianca Belair is amazing. She has a phenomenal WrestleMania track record now.
Bro, she's like 3-0.
She's one of the greatest of all time, like on the biggest stage.
Already
3-0, but 3 like legit classic great matches. Bangers. I wanted Asuka to win, but I'm not mad. It's fine. You know, I still love Bianca Belair. So that match was just fire. And then we had the Hell in a Cell where Finn Balor got his brain exposed by the ladder. That was crazy. His body paint was fire.
Bro, it was insane, dog. That's some of the coolest body paint I've ever seen.
Yeah, looked really good. That match was cool. It was fun. But man, he got his wig split by that ladder. And then of course the main event. What's your take on Cody?
You fucking clown, dog.
Acknowledge me.
You quit your own company,
dog,
just to get embarrassed at WrestleMania. You fucking loser.
Hey, man.
I've been on this podcast several times trying to defend him. And when he left AEW, for the reasons that he left AEW, I was like, all right, bro, this is a bridge too far. unacceptable levels of corny. And Vince McMahon, I've never rooted for Vince McMahon ever until that moment. Like, you have to fuck him. You spent your entire career, Dusty Rhodes' entire career in WWF, making a fool of him, right?
Right.
And Cody, for some reason, thought that meant that you owed him something because he spent his whole career making your dad look like a Looney Tune.
Looney Tune.
And all of a sudden, Cody's like, "Oh, like, yeah, but like, no, your dad." I mean, sure, he was respected because he was already a legend, but like Vince McMahon, didn't he like publicly like try to humble him because of his situation with WCW?
Vince McMahon is just everybody that came there from somewhere else. He them like
fucked
crap.
them over.
Yeah.
So I was just like, "Hey, Vince, man, you know I don't fuck with you, right?"
Vader,
right? Sting,
everybody.
You know I don't fuck with you, Vince, but like for this one time, just go ahead and do the Vince thing, please, for Cody. And my man Vince, he did exactly that.
Acknowledge me. Yeah, man. But that match was exciting. It was dramatic. The crowd. This was.
Yeah,
I mean, this was one of the best crowds of all time too, man. Like, it's just fun seeing a crowd not just hijack the show, man, and just enjoy it. And you know what I mean? Like, that's what some of these WWE crowds do sometimes.
Yeah.
So that was dope.
I will say Cody looked great. Like, you could tell he really got in shape. He looked the part. He'll probably get the belt eventually, but if he gets it now, I kind of don't even care. Like, that's fine. But like, no, you can't do what you did. And expect to get rewarded.
So if you had to pick a wrestler to beat Roman Reigns, who would it be?
I mean, I don't know that I have enough data because I haven't been checking in.
Right. Just somebody you would like to see win.
Shit. Xavier Woods.
That's amazing.
I mean, he's like the one guy in the New Day who's not had a title reign yet, like a major title reign.
It would be so cool if Big E got cleared, which I don't know if we're gonna see that. I know Kofi's hurt too right now though. He just got surgery. But it would be so cool if Roman just kept the title all this time, and then the New Day came back, and then they kind of came together and realized that they had to be a little more serious if they were going to make this happen. So you got the New Day beefing with the Bloodline.
And they already got a history.
Yeah, they already got some history. You got New Day beefing with Bloodline. Let's just Roman beats Kofi. You know, now we all think Big E is going to be the one to beat him. He beats Big E. And then they kind of prop up Xavier Woods, like, this is our last shot, and he's the guy that beats him. That would be 10 out of 10 amazing.
That'd be fire. Yeah,
I would love that.
Call trips.
I would love that. But yeah, man, I will say this: I'm not a Roman Reigns fan by any means, but I love this Bloodline thing. I love his character. He's been really good, and he's gets a reaction, man. So you gotta feed it. I'm glad he won. I didn't want him to lose. I can't stand Cody. He's corny to me. Sorry. Boom. WrestleMania. I would give it this is a solid like 9.5 out of 10. And the only reason I'm taking the 0.5 off is because I just think that the matches could have been in a different order in night 2, and that's literally it. Everything else was great. Match of the week for me, it's definitely Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. Go out of your way to watch that. It was fire. Boom.
Boom.
All right, man. Mandalorian episode 5, I think. It's great.
Yep.
Great, man. I'm loving now we have like real Mandalore coming together. Love that. What'd you think of this episode?
Fantastic. You got to see like something that we haven't seen live. Oh, we saw it one episode in the first season, but we used to see it a lot in Clone Wars, like large groups of Mandalorians fighting as a
together.
unit.
So good, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. Grief Karga. I noticed this is so funny. It's just a little funny character quirk about him. Anytime he gets on the phone, that nigga be in like Superman's stance, because it's like it's a part of his brand. Like, nah, if you talking to Grief Karga, I'm fucking standing like this, and you gonna get all of this, bro. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was hilarious.
That's funny.
I loved because here's what I thought was the most interesting takeaway was peep the Zeb cameo at the bar. That was pretty cool, which leads me to believe that he's for sure going to be in Ahsoka. I mean, they already got Ezra and Sabine coming back, And I think they're getting Syndulla to come back as well.
Right.
Hera Syndulla. Might as well bring Zeb back as well.
That would be cool. These are Rebels characters for people that are
Rebels is so much better than people give it credit for.
It's underrated. I'm not like a huge fan of it just because I don't know how I feel about that little timeline and stuff, but it was good.
I thought it was significantly better than some of the seasons of. I know everybody loves Clone Wars. Clone Wars has some trash seasons in my opinion. And I think some
trash like arcs.
Oh my! It was so boring, bro. Fuck. I'm critical of. Everybody knows I'm critical of the Clone Wars era, but it was a great show, and it has some really, really high points. But I would say that Rebels is the best parts of Rebels are not at the same level as the highest points of Clone Wars, but they were definitely better than some of the like weaker points for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So. And I also like that they expand. I like it when they get into like the like sweaty like philosophy of the Force. I really am interested in that, and they did a really good job. And again, man, it's about Jedi, bro. Like we're forgetting about what Star Wars is about, bro. We spent so much time with the clones. We spent so much time, even though the Clone Wars starred like, Ahsoka and Anakin. We spent so much time with like not them.
Mm-hmm.
That it and I think it set a precedent for like, hey, like this is the part of Star Wars that people like.
Right.
Like, nah, we like it.
No, it's fine.
We like it when it's like a Jedi character exploring those parts of the world. That's what makes it dope. That's why, like, when you saw, and even though I'm critical of this part, but when you saw Luke Skywalker and Mando, we were like, hey, like that's the stuff about Star Wars that we remember, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the stuff that we remember really liking. So I'm very excited about. I know this is about Mando, but I'm excited about Ahsoka because I feel like we're gonna get that. It'll be like the combination of both of those worlds. This awesome world that Mando has created, and that Clone Wars before it created, and now you have like a person that is Force sensitive and like not a Jedi necessarily, which is another super interesting point. But like you get to explore that a little bit. But in closing, my thoughts on this episode of Mando. I was really interested in the decision that they made for Bo-Katan, and like we will allow you to like walk both worlds, which is pretty dope.
She is really becoming one of my favorite Star Wars characters, just with her getting more just more screen time and more elaboration on her story. She's really dope. So I've been really enjoying her journey as getting her Zuko, her honor back.
Yep.
So her story's been really dope, man.
For sure.
Fire. Great episode. One of the best episodes of the season so far.
I also think that means that maybe the season finale might have to include a Bo-Katan versus Mando scrap for the
Darksaber. You think he would? You don't think he would just give it to her?
You can't.
That's true. You gotta. And he is all in on the tradition.
Yeah.
So
he offered it to her, but she was like, "Nah, I'm straight. I gotta win it from you."
Yeah, that might be what we get in. That might be the season finale of this episode is them scrapping for the Darksaber. So, boom, that episode was fire. You want to do? Should we do the top 5 before we do the bracketology?
Hold up. Bro, I did not even look at the top 5. I'll try it. So yeah, you gotta go first though.
Boom. All right, man. So as you guys know, we are preparing ourselves for the SwordCast. American action movie character clash. But before we do that, which is going to be awesome and very fun, we are going to do the top 5 of the day. Today's top 5 was something we're maybe gonna do last week after we talked about John Wick, but we kind of had to step back a little bit, get a little refresh our minds on the John Wick movies, especially myself after I just kind of binged them all in one day. But let's go, man. Top 5 favorite John Wick scenes. John Wick, man, just one of the best action franchises of all time. We already talked about how impressive and elaborate these fight scenes are in this choreography. So let's go, man.
I know. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go first.
Yep.
Because I know you're getting yours together.
Yep.
I will actually just go right into it, man, because there's so many good ones, and I don't. I know you're higher on some than I am, so I'm gonna get right into it. My number 5. So this is interesting because now that I'm looking at my list, all 5 of mine are from either the 3rd or the 4th John Wick movie.
Mine too.
So coming in number 5, man, is going to be the staircase fight at the end of John Wick 4 with Kane. That's Donnie Yen's character when he comes to help him try to get up the stairs so he can get to that final showdown. That was awesome. Donnie Yen's character is so good in this movie. Kane is awesome, and it was also hilarious when he got knocked down the steps that first time. Then he had to get all the way back up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And in like 4 minutes.
Man, hilarious. But this was it was a good movie. This was a good scene. This fight scene was awesome. And you know the honorable rival of the main character coming to help him out and achieve his goal was dope. So this was one of my favorites at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we're gonna feature Kane again. Shout out to Donnie Yen getting his way into 2 fights on this list. And I love this scene. It was kind of short lived, but this is 2 of my favorite martial arts actors of all time, Hiroyuki Sanada and Donnie Yen. I'm gonna go with the Kane versus Koji fight at the Osaka Continental. When Donnie Yen and Hiroyuki Sanada face off. That scene was so good, man. I loved it. It was fire. It was really good. Kind of a dream match scenario. And again, this is another example of like a character just having like mad loyalty to John Wick, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that scene was dope. And my number 3, I gotta go with one of my favorite fights in terms of like this was like no weapons really until he started using his belt. And that is John Wick versus the 2 Shinobi brothers from Zero's like ninja group in the 3rd movie in that mirror. And with all the glass, was that the glass house fight?
Yeah.
That fight is amazing.
Hey, make sure you get thrown through every single glass cabinet. Make sure you get thrown through
every glass window.
Actually, you missed one. Cabinet. Here, let's go back.
And then we'll throw you through that one. But the 2-on-1 fight with the brothers versus him was so good, man. This is when he had to use the belt, and then we got the belly to belly suplex, some nice judo throws, and then we got the Kurt Angle slam, dog. Yep. Oh my god, it's so good. That's my number 3. My number 2. John Wick 3 again, man. The antique weapons fight with the knives, bro. In that little skinny hallway. That scene is amazing. That was just one of my favorite fight scenes of all time. Incredible. The knife work, the disarming of the knives, all the judo takedowns and the jiu-jitsu in this scene is phenomenal. He threw so many knives at that one guy.
He literally threw like 6 of them.
This was one of the most impressive like little close quarter like hallway fight scenes I've ever seen.
And they did it without relying on the action movie trope of, hey, it's very clear that some like stunt coordinator showed someone in some movie producer the like drop the knife into the other hand technique, so everybody included it in their movie.
That's been very popular.
I can't stand that shit, bro. It even showed up in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I remember.
Like, what?
And now, like this is a scene where we did not see that, and there was lots.
He might have did it once, but like there was like a ton of other like cool knife tech that was on display.
So that scene is just incredible to me. And my number 1, which was also my number 1 favorite, like 1 versus mini fight, the Osaka Continental fight, just him using the nunchucks and the swords and the guns, and just that is one of my favorite fight scenes of all time. So good. That's my number 1 favorite scene in all of John Wick.
Boom.
That's my top 5. The staircase fight. Kane versus Koji, the 1-on-1 between Donnie Yen and Hiroyuki Sanada's characters. John Wick versus Shinobi Brothers from the 3rd. The antique weapon shop fight from the 3rd movie. And my number 1, the Osaka Continental fight. The nunchucks, the blades, all of John Wick on display in that fight scene. So good. The tech, the choreography, amazing. Shout out to Keanu Reeves, man. Let's go.
My guy. Boom. All right, so I got my list, pulled it together in 15 seconds, but I feel confident about it. My number, quick honorable mention. Mine are also from the second or the last 2 movies because I really don't remember the only one that might have been there for that was John Wick 3. I was gonna say the dog scene. That was John Wick 3 though, with Halle Berry.
Oh, so good, man, with the dogs.
Yep,
man.
So I don't know. The first 2 were fantastic. I'm sure there were some great fights that we might have missed, but I don't really remember them. But I definitely know that numbers 3 and 4 are my favorite. So my one honorable mention is the barnyard fight where he was using horses as grenades. That was incredible. And I already can hear the SwordCast fans. You have to understand Novelist's taste in the world. This guy is very committed to the things that he likes. If it ain't no hand-to-hand combat in it or sword-to-sword combat in it, it's not gonna catch his eye the same way.
Yep.
So I know that everybody is complaining. I can hear it right now. Don't worry. I will get to that.
You'll clean up my sins.
Ah, man, it's no sin, bro. It is what it is. But I understand. Trust me, I got it. It's coming. So my number 5 is the traffic loop fight from John Wick 4.
God. so
good. I counted in the theater. John Wick was hit by 4 automobiles in that fight.
Like hard.
Yeah. He also threw 2 different people into oncoming traffic by way of like judo throws. Like I've never seen anything like that before. Really, really awesome scene. Shout out to John Wick 4 for just being really taking like the creativity in these fight scenes to
another level, man.
Number 4, and this is not only just because of John Wick and Keanu Reeves, because of the other actors. Always been one of my favorite 90s actors who are like action actors that never really got as big a career as I thought he would. The final fight at the end of John Wick 3 between John Wick and Mark Dacascos' character.
Oh man,
I can't remember his name.
Zero.
Zero. I loved it because there were some subtle callbacks to
his older
movies, man.
Yeah.
Like he straight up did a couple of capoeira moves, and he played the main character in Only the Strong.
Only the Strong.
And he was such a good martial artist. He like learned capoeira for that film. Like he didn't train in it at all. He learned it for the film, and he was pretty good. He was just a really good athlete and a great martial artist. So I really love that he got a chance to shine. Shout out to him for that. Also, rest in peace, Lance Riddick, bro.
Man,
horrible that we lost him.
Yes.
He played a huge role in the
at the end of the New York Continental. That would be one of my high honorable mentions. I love the end of that movie, man.
Yeah.
That fight scene that whole action scene at the end where he gives them the armor piercing shotgun shells, man. Like that scene at the end is really, really dope.
Yep. All right, so then you've got number 3. Is also from John Wick number 3. This is John Wick's fight against the Raid twins.
Yes, sir.
Just before he fights Zero. He flat out, I mean, it was like 2 rounds, but like the first round, he flat out lost. Like,
yeah, and
he was defeated.
Like, I love the honor, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, nah, man, we respect you. You're a legend.
Right. Because they also kind of caught him slipping a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, like, let's go again, bro. Let's see what happens.
That was really dope.
And turns out they regretted that because John Wick beat their ass the next time.
I love that fight, man.
All right, so getting into John Wick 4, number 2, this whole scene, not just like the fight scene, but just the entire way that this scene was shot. The first action scene that Kane has in the kitchen.
Yes.
Was absolutely incredible. The way that he was just posted up in the corner eating ramen while a gunfight was happening.
Bro.
Just totally, just the level of confidence totally unbothered
with the bells, man.
Yeah,
that fight scene.
Then he
so
brought out
sweet.
his motion detectors and was using that to like line up headshots and all kind of crazy shit.
So good.
Using his you got to see his like cane. Oh, cane. I didn't even put that together. The cane with the sword in it.
Yeah, man.
And the way that I've never seen anybody use a sword like that before. It was like he was using it like a fencing rapier or however you pronounce that.
Donnie Yen, man.
Donnie Yen is one of the GOATs.
All timer.
And so I paid attention to the structure of the question. The question was favorite John Wick scenes. I know this wasn't exactly a fight scene, but like,
yeah, that's why I put it that way. You know, because some of the even not just speaking to what I know your number one is going to be, but like even like some of the chase scenes are really good. The horse stable, horses back kicking dudes' faces off.
Even the
motorcycle scene,
the first scene in John Wick 4 when he was like on horseback,
yeah,
like, that was fucking awesome, dog. I think it was a straight.
He went from being a martial artist to being a cowboy,
right?
In
like
2 seconds.
Wild West, like rooting two niggas down with a fucking revolver.
He was out here. This town ain't big enough for the two of us and cats,
right, bro? Well, I'm rooting this. Hey, ain't nobody talk more shit than fucking Sam.
Oh man, bro.
And the list of like all time great cartoon or animated shit talkers, right at the top of the list got to be Sam and Vegeta. Yosemite Sam and Vegeta got to be up there, bro.
Oh, Vegeta, bro. He's kind of like the standard bearer for running his mouth.
He be talking cash shit, bro.
Dog, I love like one of my favorite Vegeta moments ever is him just giving a recap of how he became a Super Saiyan
dog.
And then when he first turns on to fight the androids, he like lets my man get some hits, and he's like, just as I thought, you're nothing.
Weak. Shout out to Vegeta.
My man's y'all gonna hear my backstory.
All right,
like, I'm about to tell y'all.
Chill out. This Super Saiyan shit super important to me. So y'all niggas gonna sit down and listen, bro. I done got this shit out the mud, bro. Akira Toriyama just be handing out power-ups to Goku.
I seriously love that part so much, bro. Because that's what it is. He's like, nope. Look, I didn't just get this.
I'm not the main character. Akira Toriyama didn't just write up a fucking power-up for me. I went and got that shit from them niggas. I fought against the oppressors, bro. I fought against my oppressor. Bro,
so y'all about to hear about all of it.
Right, dog. Let's go. The Honorable Reverend Dr. Vegeta. Let's go.
Oh man.
X.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, I said all that to say that I know everybody's was wondering. It's the Hotline Miami top-down fucking video game. Grand Theft Auto top-down.
And shout out to Mr. Nobody who ended up having some tech of his own.
Yeah, man.
He was a really dope character.
Very, very dope character. Just one of the most creative movie scenes that I've ever seen, bro. And it lasted for so long. It was like it reminded me. So John Wick is basically just a video game, right? It's a video game movie. But like, it's not like, hey, let's turn this movie into a video game. It's like, what if we made a movie that was basically just a video game starring the most badass motherfucker ever?
Right.
And like, cool, let's just take that literally and have a whole level of like top down, like incendiary shotgun. Because again, the only time I've ever heard of an incendiary shotgun is in a video game. I've never seen it in a movie. And they were like, hey, you remember that thing, that gun that you used to get on Bond in 1997 with the incendiary shells? Here it is in a movie in 2023. So yeah, Hotline Miami. I don't even know what to call it. Hotline Miami top down Grand Theft Auto shoot 'em up. That's my number one. There it is.
Boom. Very nice, very nice. But all right, man. So on the last episode, we kind of came up with this idea that we were gonna do a tournament with action movie heroes American action movie heroes, and we went through a lot of phases when we were planning this out, right? Like we started, we were drafting up these brackets, like going back and forth, doing the regions and the seeds, and and this has been through about 10 different drafts, right? Like first we were gonna do just action movies, period, and then Hero had a really great idea where he's like, yeah, we could like separate so many characters and do a whole nother tournament somewhere down the line that includes more of the martial arts characters that we like so much, and keep it American, right? And then just keep it like strictly action, and then don't include TV shows. It's just including movie characters, and it just made it
no superpowers either.
Yeah, you got to be humans, no superpowers, and it really just ended up making this really fun and more interesting doing it that way. Do you have can you pull up the picture?
Yes.
Can you?
Wait,
is that doable?
With to put it on screen, talking about the brackets? Yeah, I can filibuster for like 5 minutes, but I can't.
So what we did was we took a field. So and at first it was more. Like there was a lot.
Yeah.
And we wanted to narrow it down to 32, right? So we could do like NCAA March Madness style tournament where we're breaking this bracket down, breaking it up into 4 different regions with 8 seeds in each region. And when we vote, we'll have you guys vote in the Discord. Fans, if you're watching on YouTube or you're listening and you want to be in the Discord, just hit me up. Write us on Instagram or comment on YouTube, or write me on Instagram or Facebook, Twitter, and I'll make sure that we get you an invite so you can be part of this. So we broke it up into the 4 regions, and we got our seeds, and to make it even more fun, right? We have ones that kind of barely missed it, and they're going to be part of a play-in to get into the tournament. So let's just start by breaking down some of these regions and these seeds. So can you pull up region 1?
Yes. So region 1 is represented by.
So region 1, here are the seeds for region 1, and let's start from the bottom and go up. Right, the 8th seed for region 1 is
Eggsy Unwin from the Kingsman series.
Yes, from the Kingsman series. Good character. I've seen those movies. Good action. Good fight scenes.
A couple of like all-time great action scenes.
Yeah, some of the best, like just those like long shots.
Man, that like the church scene, bruh.
It's nuts.
Insane.
So again, like this good action movie character. He's gonna be the 8th seed. He's gonna have his hands full with a play-in match. So he might not even make it to face the 1 seed. And then coming in at number 7, we got Evelyn Salt. Salt is a good movie. This is another, kind of top agent type of character. And that is our 7th seed. I also think we did a good job. So one thing we wanted to do was have the number 1 seeds, split it, right? 2 men, 2 women, and the ones that we have they're 1 seeds for sure.
Yeah.
And they're coming in number 6. We got Eli from Book of Eli. It's a good character played by Denzel Washington. Kind of a Zatoichi take a little bit there.
Yeah.
Number 5. Okay, we got Isaiah Bone from Blood and Bone. We had to get Michael J. White in here somehow.
Michael J. White.
I think this is his most famous role, but he does have this movie called Falcon Rising. I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar with it.
I like that movie too, and his character in that movie is really good. And then the 4 seed for region. Now, we showed this. Now, we showed this character respect by giving him a seed this high because we're acknowledging.
I know everybody loves Indiana Jones, whatever.
In the film industry, Indiana Jones is the 4 seed. Number 3, got Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt is in a position to surprise some folks. It's
I think so.
Potentially kind of a low seed for him.
I think so. I think this is a little. When you see some of these other characters, you'll understand. But I think Ethan Hunt has got a decent shot to advance in this.
Agreed.
In this tournament. Then at the 2 seed, we got a dog, true one man army, John Matrix from Commando. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from Commando. Arnold's got a few characters in this tournament.
I'd love to see if he gets a chance to match up with Rambo at any point.
Man, me too. So shout out to just him in general, man. Like one of the best action movie stars. He's well represented in this tournament, John Matrix. And number 1, come on, you know the 1 seed, John Wick.
Let's go.
John Wick. In terms of just the character itself,
Baba Yaga,
the movies, the actor, the abilities shown on camera in the movies, like John Wick 1 seed, no doubt. Let's take a look at Region 2.
All right. So
while you're pulling up Region 2, I think the obvious favorite here in Region 1 is John Wick. That's my favorite to come out of this one. Who you think could be a sleeper in Region 1? So we got John Wick, we got John Matrix, we got Ethan Hunt, Indiana Jones, Isaiah Bone, Eli, Evelyn Salt, and Eggsy Unwin.
I would say Eggsy has a shot to. He's gonna have a tough time against John Wick. So I think
You think he gets out of the play-in?
I think he gets out of the play-in, and he puts up a serviceable effort against John Wick. But I don't see him beating John Wick. I think that just because of his status and his the seed. Maybe ran into some trouble at the end of the season and got a low seed. But Ethan Hunt representing, because in terms of franchises, Mission Impossible is one of the elite and I'm not even a huge Mission Impossible fan like that.
But it is. It's a big. I agree. It is a big time.
He's got a lot of fans.
Agreed.
Got a lot of fans. All right. Region number 2 is represented by.
Oh, you got Region 2. All right, so
yes,
Region 2. All right, moving on to the second region. So starting the bottom. So our 8th seed. No. We got Brian Mills from Taken. Man with a particular set of skills. Right. Coming in at number 8. Of course, we had to include this. These movies are good. Brian Mills, number 8. The 7th seed, Cobra. This is a classic, deep cut. Yeah, shout out to the homie Eric, Handsome Bane. He kind of reminded me. If we're talking American action movies, I think this is the assassin character played by Sylvester Stallone. Just a classic action movie, man. This character belongs. I like it. 7th seed, 6th seed. One of our all-time favorite movie characters, Simon Phoenix.
One of the coolest names. Coolest looks. 90s personified.
90s, just a 90s encapsulated right here in Simon Phoenix. Cool name, great look, can fight. Just this whole character from Demolition Man, awesome.
Is he one of the only anti-hero characters on this list?
That is a great point. Yes.
In any region, I don't think.
I think he might be the only one.
Yeah.
This is mostly good.
He's not even the main character of his own movie.
He's not even the main character. So shout out to Simon Phoenix.
Yeah.
Getting on here. That's fire, actually. The 5 seed here. This is my favorite region, by the way, in terms of just the field.
Yeah.
Because I think this one is kind of
stacked.
This is stacked. This is a good one. Then the 5 seed. Come on, man. Frank Dukes, Bloodsport. We had to get Jean-Claude Van Damme in here. He's got 2 characters in this tournament. And this is obviously his biggest one, so we had to get Frank Dukes in here from Bloodsport. He's the 5 seed. The 4 seed, Leonidas from 300. It's a beast.
This is Sparta!
This is a beast of a man, but he is also a man.
Yep.
So got Leonidas at number 4. Number 3, I think this is an underrated one. Frank Martin from Transporter. Man, I love that first Transporter. He does it. He puts the bike pedals on his feet and he kicks people in the face with the bike pedals on his feet. Frank Martin, number 3, underrated. Number 2, I think this is a heavy hitter. John Rambo. Like you said, I would be interested to see if he makes it out of this bracket and gets a matchup against the Arnold Schwarzenegger character. Agreed. But the number 1 seed, one of our women 1 seeds, we all know the bride Beatrix Kiddo from Kill Bill.
Man,
boom,
dog. I think a lot of people are sleeping on
the bride.
Bro.
Yeah, she's definitely.
She fought 80 people at once and killed them all.
Killed them
all of them. I guess she technically didn't kill them all, but she took a limb off of like basically everyone.
Big time one seed, definitely deserving. So when we started doing this, off top, my 2 1 seeds that I thought of immediately were John Wick and Beatrix Kiddo. So
yeah,
that is region 2, man.
My pick to come out of region 2 is I got to go with the 1 seed, The Bride.
I like The Bride. I like The Bride, but I also like, not my favorite by any means. I think John Rambo's got a shot here.
He does. He does have a shot.
American War Propaganda. Woo! Let's go. Yeah.
Commando versus, John Rambo versus John Matrix. And technically, we could have put in John Spartan in there as well.
Yeah, for sure. That would have been great. But yeah, man, good matchups here. I think that Frank Martin versus Simon Phoenix is gonna be great. That's gonna be a good first round match. I'm interested to see who comes out of that one. And then I think that's the best first round matchup we're gonna get here. So region 2 is going to be fun.
All right, region 3 represented by
region 3. Let's go. At the 8th seed, we got John Creasy, man. Denzel Washington's character from Man on Fire. This is a good movie, man. This is one of his best action roles. Number 7, we got Mad Max.
Let's go.
Another good movie, another good character. Tom Hardy version here. Number 6, I think this is kind of a deep cut. So we got Catalea from Colombiana, which was Zoe Saldana. That movie was
fire.
Very good.
Yeah.
This is another kind of special ops type of so that movie's that movie where they get her team, don't they get like doesn't her team get, they set them up and they get I don't remember, I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, me neither.
Their team gets like, so she's like in this like special like strike team, and they get like set up by the government so they could like steal this money or something like that, and they get her whole team gets like killed and abandoned. I don't remember exactly, but it's a good movie and she's awesome. She's good in it. So that's our 6th seed. Coming in at the 5 seed, we got Harry Tasker from True Lies, man. One of the best American action movies of all time. Shout out to Arnold Schwarzenegger.
One of the creepiest opening scenes ever. It's so fucking weird.
Gosh. Very weird. CIA, Arnold Schwarzenegger here. Coming in number 4, we got a beast.
Let's go, dog.
The Woman King.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
Naniska from The Woman King.
Some of the most impressive fight scenes ever.
Bro, when I told you about this shit, I was like, bro, no, it's not just like movie fight scenes. They were scrapping in there.
Amazing.
It was like high-level martial arts choreography in that
first,
shit.
When I watched this movie because after you told me that, and I was like very impressed by what I was looking at.
It was really good.
Boom. Beast at number 4. Coming in at the 3 seed, one of the more popular 90s action movies, Universal Soldier. We got Luke Devereaux. That is Jean-Claude Van Damme's character from this. I was deciding, I wanted him to get 2 characters in this tournament, kind of deciding between that or like his character from Hard Target, which I love that movie, or Time Cop. But I think Universal Soldier is
definitely his.
It's one of his babies. And
between, I think Bloodsport and Universal Soldier are his like 2 biggest roles.
Yeah, I think so.
Or a double team with fucking Dennis
Rodman. So shout out to Van Damme, Luke Devereaux. 2 seed in this region was somebody who Hero kind of lobbied for it, and it makes sense. You know, James Bond. We had Bond in here to begin with, but I had him at kind of a lower seed, and just the legendary status, and this is an OG character, original.
And I don't know if you've seen some of the newer James Bond movies, but
with Daniel Craig, I've seen some of them. So
Daniel Craig James Bond, that nigga is a monster.
Yeah.
Dog.
So this makes sense, right? The 2 seed, but the number 1 seed, which is another one that we all agreed on, Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
Hey man, look, you want to talk about hands? Before there was John Wick, there was Jason Bourne, and Jason Bourne was out here, beating the crap out of folks.
I love the first Bourne Identity.
I do too. I like all 3 of them.
It was difficult. I'm not a fan of Matt Damon at all. I think that made it harder for me, but the first Jason Bourne movie was fire.
Yeah, it is very good.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jason Bourne. So again, man, we got some good matchups. We got Luke Devereaux versus Calais. The first round is gonna be good. And then Niska versus Harry Tasker. Oh, Harry about to get the brakes beat off of him.
Yeah.
And then we got Bond and Mad Max. That could be good.
Yeah.
I think my favorite to come out of here is probably Jason Bourne. I think the Woman King might make some noise though.
She will. I think Bond has a shot too, because I said just off the legendary status of James Bond, he could have easily been a 1 seed, right? This might have been one of those years where there was like 5 teams that could have been 1 seeds. Somebody just had to be a 2. I think the finals are going to come down to Jason Bourne and James Bond, and it'll be close.
Boom, and let's pull up that last one, Region 4. Again, man, this is another good one. Like I think my favorite region is 2, and I think this one is probably my second. Region 4.
Oh my god, yeah.
Region 4 is so good. So we got Region 4.
This is
here.
my favorite 1 seed. One seed for sure.
So starting at the bottom, number 8, we got Dominic Toretto from Fast and the Furious.
If you listen to Sober Hippies, Dominic Toretto will beat John Wick. It's one of the most insane takes I've ever heard coming out of our community.
Boy. So we got Dominic Toretto here at the 8 seed. The 7, we got my guy.
Yes, sir.
So we got lucky, man. We got lucky. We got an American movie with our guy. We got Chief Inspector Lee. This is Jackie Chan's character from the Rush Hour series. So good.
This is my sleeper out of this round.
Yes.
Is Chief Inspector Lee.
I agreed. Love him. And we got Martin Riggs here coming in at the 6th spot. This is Lethal Weapon.
Yep.
Classic 90s action movie. People love it.
Bro, one of my favorite scenes in movie history is the first Lethal Weapon, the first time Martin, what's Danny Glover's character's name again?
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm not gonna remember it.
Whatever. When Danny Glover like finally sees Riggs in action for the first time and takes him into the convenience store and just cusses his ass out, dog. That's one of my favorite scenes ever, bro. That nigga threw his ass out the window, both of them.
Hilarious.
And I do not like Mel Gibson. He's a piece of shit, but like they both were acting their asses off in those scenes. So yeah, shout out to Martin Riggs.
And then I think the highlight of this bracket is it has 2 of the greatest female action movie characters of all time. In the 5th seed, we got Sarah Connor, just a beast from the Terminator franchise. Shout out to Sarah Connor, man. She was so on edge in Terminator 2. And then the 4th seed, we got John McClane from maybe the most popular action movie from the 90s, possibly.
Yeah, Die Hard, man. I know Edmund really liked one of those movies. I was never a huge fan of Die Hard.
I wasn't either, but Die Hard had an awesome arcade game. I don't know if you remember playing that game at the arcades back in the day.
Was that the one that had like am I getting confused?
The helicopter scene. They had the helicopter level at the end.
Yeah, I remember that. But like, there was you remember like Rainforest Cafe, or and it was that one where you had to strap into this thing and it would like make you go up and down.
Yeah,
and you had a gun. That wasn't Die Hard.
You're talking about that was at that game that
GameWorks. GameWorks. I think so. I think because
why did they get rid of GameWorks?
I don't know, bro. Because I remember I used to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 in that little room upstairs.
Bro, wait a minute.
Street Fighter Third Strike was up there too.
I forgot all about GameWorks.
Why
did they get rid of that place?
I don't know. I would be there right now if it was still there.
Be there right now. Wow, that's crazy. We need another place like that. And then the 3 seed, we got Maximus from Gladiator. Yep. Another.
Very
it would be interesting to see him and Leonidas. I try to split some of these characters up that kind of similarities. And then the 2 seed, Beast. This is my favorite seed in this bracket. We got Dutch. This is Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from the Predator movies.
Dog.
Kill me, I'm here.
Do it.
Do it now. Kill me, I'm here. I love Predator, dog. I love Arnold. I love Dutch.
Yeah.
I love when he paints himself to blend in with the environment. Man, that movie is so awesome. Shout out to Dutch and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Let me do the honors for number 1, bro.
Oh, let's go.
My favorite 1 seed, bro. You got to put some respect on her name, dog. Queen Mother Sigourney Weaver starring in Alien 1 and 2 and 3 and a couple and one more, I think. Ellen Ripley, dog. Hey, Ellen Ripley had the, like, with the exception of maybe Dutch in terms of their antagonists.
Yeah. Oh, like feat of beating a
bro.
Yeah.
Like
she might have.
Nobody had a harder final boss than her, bro.
Her and Dutch have that on
everybody, dog. Like, she took out a fucking xenomorph, nigga. What?
And she might pull a mech suit out on some people.
Right, bro.
Come on, man. This is
technically she didn't. In the first one, she just escaped, but I think she killed the queen in the second one, didn't she?
Yeah, in the second one,
man. So. Ellen Ripley,
mostly
beast.
come at night. Mostly.
Queen Mother, Sigourney Weaver.
Shout out to Queen Mother Ellen Ripley with the 1 seed in Region 4. There's gonna be some good matchups. Gonna be some good matchups again in this one. I think Ripley is Ripley is beloved by the SwordCast community.
Yeah. Yep.
My favorite seed is between her and Dutch in this one, but just nonetheless, great. So this is gonna be exciting, man. I am excited to do this. So here's what we're gonna do. We will send you guys. I will post the play-in matchups and the first and your. So we're gonna do the.
You want to talk about the play-in real quick? Who's in it, or you want to do that separately?
Yeah. Can you pull it up?
Yeah.
So we do have a play-in, right? We have a play-in seeds, and these will be who the 8 seed faces as their first round match. And then when the 8 seed and the play-in play, that will determine who goes on to face the 1 seed.
Yes.
So that's how we're gonna do this. So the way that I want you guys to vote, we kind of came up with a system in the Discord. We'll post them. I'll give you guys the deadlines when you got to get us those results, and then we'll post the first round. So by the next Tuesday episode, we want to have the play-in and the first round completed. Okay, so
boom. We'll
make sure we get those posted in the Discord.
So how I think I'm going to do this, we kind of tested a few different strategies for how we're going to do it. I'll do the version where I'll just post 2 pictures, ask the question, and then I will put the emoji next to the name, so y'all will put the corresponding emoji for the votes. And also, just because I know not everybody is logged in at the same time, like every couple of hours, I will reply everyone to that first post, so we don't have to create a new one. You'll just go back to that post.
Got ya.
I'll do that like every couple of hours.
Nice.
So folks can. Those y'all who don't like the everyone ats, like, just be prepared to be annoyed, because
for over the course of the next couple of
over the course of the next month. So like, sorry, but like,
sorry, man. Just have fun.
It's no big deal. Just talk a little shit. Yeah, you know, I might even get a thread going, or like another like thread in the Discord where people can just like talk shit and like.
About
opinions
and picks. So that would be probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So yeah, man. So we got the play-in. So our play-in participants, right? These are characters that deserve to still be a part of this tournament, but just couldn't quite squeeze them in the way that the seeds ended up working out. So obviously, I can't get this up, so can
I got it.
Through
so the first one is Jack Reacher from Jack Reacher versus Lorraine Broughton from Atomic Blonde.
Right, that's a good one. That is a good play-in matchup. So whoever wins that matchup will go on to face the 8 seed in Region 1.
Yep. And then for Region 2, the play-in is going to be and I love this one, Katniss Everdeen versus Naru from Prey.
That is such a good matchup.
That's such a good matchup, bro. I'm very excited about that one.
I love that one.
I love both of those characters.
Me too.
And so for Region 3, it's going to be Machete versus Luke Hobbs.
Like that as well.
Yeah, and just to make sure is I think we should change it, bro. I think we should put this for Region 2, because I'd like to set up a situation.
Got you.
Or wherever
where we get Hobbs and
Shaw, dog. Hobbs and Shaw. So I think Toretto.
Yeah, Toretto
versus
Hobbs.
So that's Region 4.
Okay. Got it. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. Speaking of Hobbs and Shaw, so Region 3. All right, I guess it still works. It's fine. It's fine the way it is, because Region 3.
Because we'll end up getting.
Yeah, we'll get one of them. So Region 3 will be Machete versus Luke Hobbs, And then Region 4 will be Johnny Utah from
underrated character.
Yeah. Somebody said we got this wrong last time. Is it Point Break or Break Point? Which one is it?
I think it's Point Break. Not sure.
That's where Johnny Utah is from, right?
Yeah.
Johnny Utah versus Deckard Shaw in Region 4.
Yeah, I think it's Point Break is the name of that movie.
Yeah.
So that's a good one, man. And I think Johnny Utah is an underrated character. Shout out to Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, bro. GOAT. Legend.
GOAT. Boom. This is going to be fun. Can't wait to do this. Oh, yeah. Sidebar. Before we get out of here. I watched another movie, 47 Ronin. Thought it was awesome. I don't understand why people didn't like that movie. It's a fantasy samurai movie. It's like Last Samurai and Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for
that sounds amazing.
The weird stuff. My thing has always kind of been like I would have enjoyed Last Samurai so much more had it been somebody like Keanu Reeves or something.
Yeah. Or just like not a white person.
Yeah, or just somebody that
how about you just make Ken Watanabe the Last Samurai?
The main character, right?
Right.
But I love Hiroyuki Sanada. He's in this movie with Keanu Reeves. They are so sweet in this movie. And just, you know, it's a lot of fantasy. There's some CGI, some crazy monsters and stuff, but there's some legit sword tech in this movie too. Keanu Reeves is dope. It doesn't have the white savior feel either. Like he's really not even the main character. The main character is kind of more Hiroyuki Sanada's character. And he's the one who like does the big deed and like gets the big payoff. And you know what I'm saying? But I thought the movie was dope, man. I really liked it. I'll talk about it more next time. But 47 Ronin, loved it, thought it was awesome. Don't understand why people don't like it. Boom.
Boom.
All right, y'all. Peace.